Hello, welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with 90s movie favorites. Next is Hercules. Long ago, Earth was ruled by monsters called Titans. Then a mighty god named Zeus locked the Titans away beneath the ocean so that he and his fellow gods and goddesses could rule the world from Mount Olympus. One happy day, Zeus's wife Hera gave birth to a very strong baby. She named him Hercules. All the gods gathered to celebrate the birth. And as a gift, Zeus gave his son a flying horse called Pegasus. Hades, the evil god of the underworld, was among the guests that day. When he left the celebration, he returned to his dark domain and spoke with his two demon helpers, Pain and Panic. Hades then left for a meeting with the three fates. Hades had a plan to take over Olympus, but he wanted to know if he could succeed. So he asked the fates, three sisters who shared one eye, an eye that saw the past, present, and future. The fates said that in 18 years the planets would line up and Hades could then defeat Zeus by releasing the Titans. But the fates warned, should Hercules join the fight, you will fail. So Hades decided to get rid of Hercules. He sent Pain and Panic to steal the baby. They took him to Earth and forced him to drink a magic potion, one that would change him from a god to a human. But before the last drop was drunk, a kindly couple, Amphitryon and Alcmene, came along. Pain and Panic turned themselves into deadly snakes in order to complete their task, but the snakes were no match for Hercules' amazing strength. You know, Hades trying to kill Hercules is a lot more evil because they're related in Greek mythology. Perhaps the gods have finally answered our prayers for a child, Alcmene said as she looked at the medallion the baby wore. The couple decided to raise Hercules as their own child. Zeus and Hera missed their son, but only gods could live on Mount Olympus, and Hercules was no longer a god. Young Hercules grew up kind-hearted, eager to be helpful, and very accident-prone. One day, he accidentally destroyed the whole marketplace. Hercules is dangerous, said one of the merchants. He didn't mean any harm, said Amphitryon. But the townspeople shouted, "Keep that freak away from here!" "Where do I belong?" Hercules asked. At last it was time for Amphitryon and Alcmene to tell him how he had found as a baby and to show him the medallion he had been wearing at the time. "It's the symbol of the gods," Alcmene explained. "The gods!" Hercules cried. "Maybe they know where I belong." In search of an answer, Hercules visited the temple of Zeus. As Hercules prayed to the statue of Zeus, it came to life. Zeus told Hercules all about his beginnings. He said, "If you want to prove yourself a true hero on Earth, you will be a god again." "How do I become a hero?" Hercules asked. Zeus told Hercules to find Philoctetes, aka Phil, the trainer of heroes. Zeus whistled for Pegasus, the flying horse he had given Hercules years before. And Pegasus flew Hercules to Phil's island home. "I'm out of the hero business," Phil told Hercules. "I'm sick of losers." But then he heard that Hercules was Zeus's son. Phil changed his mind. Hercules trained hard. Finally, he told Phil, "I'm ready to battle monsters, rescue damsels, heroic stuff." Phil agreed. "Saddle up, kid. We're going to the big city of Thebes." On the way, Hercules rescued a girl named Megara, also known as Meg, from a centaur. Hercules didn't know it, but Meg was mixed up with Hades. And Hades had a plan. He forced Meg to trick Hercules into fighting the Hydra, a monster with many heads. Just then, when it seemed Hercules was doomed, he smashed his fist into a mighty cliff. With a great crash, the whole cliff tumbled on the Hydra. Hercules won. So Hades set an even trickier trap. He ordered Meg to become friendly with Hercules. Find out his weakness and I'll set you free, he said. Meg tried, but instead of finding Hercules' weakness, she fell in love with him, and he fell in love with her. When Hades realized how much Hercules cared for Meg, he made her his hostage. Then he told Hercules, "Give up your strength for the next 24 hours, and no harm will come to her." Hercules could not let anything bad happen to Meg, so he agreed. Now, after 18 long years, Hades' plan was poised for success. The plans lined up to the proper order, just as the fates predicted, and Hercules was helpless. Hades released the Titans from their prison. As soon as they were free, the terrible Titans transformed Olympus. At the same time, Hades sent the giant Cyclops to attack thieves and kill Hercules. "Hercules, save us," the people cried. Meg warned Hercules that without a string he'd be killed, but someone had to stand up to the Cyclops. Hercules grabbed a burning stick to fight the monster. During the battle, Meg pushed Hercules away from a falling column, fell on her instead. Since Meg was injured, the deal with Hades was broken. Hercules had his strength back. He could easily lift the column off his beloved Meg. "Hurry, he would still stop Hades," she urged. Hercules flew straight up to Mount Olympus to free his father and the other gods. Hercules joined forces with them and defeated the Titans. Then he hurried back to Meg's side, but it was too late. Her spirit had disappeared into the underworld. Hercules was determined to save Meg. He traveled to the underworld to bring the spirit back to the world of the living. Amazingly, he succeeded. "That's impossible! Unless you're a god!" Hades fumed. It had happened at last. By risking his own life for Meg, Hercules had become a true hero and had earned his place on Mount Olympus once more. But Hercules chose not to stay above the clouds. He had finally found a place where he belonged on Earth with Meg. From that day forward, Hercules lived happily and well, and his brave deeds were written in the stars. And that's the end of Hercules. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day.